Hi, I'm Sarah Santa Ana, and I am back again to give you a few more tips on how to choose the right brokerage. The first thing that I want to talk about today is franchises. You know, a lot of times people will say that you should always go for the name brand. One of the most important things that I learned in my career, and by the way, I've worked for small brokerages, no-name brokerages, large brokerages, franchise brokerages. So I've been to just about everywhere. When I started my company in 2006, I decided not to franchise, and I'm going to tell you why. I did my studies, I did my research on all of them. I'm open-minded. It's just that I didn't see the benefit, and let's talk about that. So when I started in early 2000s, I was with a small broker, and I did very good my very first year. I did pretty good. And I decided that maybe I needed a little bit more help. Maybe I could do even better. I fell for that sales pitch the franchise companies will sell you, which is, you need our name. You need our name to get more sales. Now, here's the interesting thing. I have worked with a lot of people, and I've never had anyone say to me, I will not work with you unless you're with this company. People always did business because they liked and trusted me, or they didn't. And if they didn't, no matter what company I worked for, it wouldn't have mattered. So I found that when I switched over to the franchise brokerage, I didn't make any more business. And that's when I realized it's not about the name, it's about me and my skills. So when you're running your business, make sure that you understand it's important to take time to educate yourself. So again, I'm going to go back to the brokerage that provides the best training and support. Now, you may find that that is a franchise company, and if that's if that's the situation, then that's okay. So don't focus on the name of the company. Focus on the training and support that they provide you. In fact, if you can find a brokerage that is not a franchise, that's actually better for your business, because the franchise companies will charge you a franchise fee off of the top that you're going to be responsible to pay for. Now, as I told you, I started my company in 2006, and I studied all the franchise companies because I was debating whether I should franchise or not. What I found in my research, and if you'd like to research, you could figure out the same for yourself, is that the franchise is great for a broker, but it is not necessary for the agent. Who does the franchise company benefit? The broker. You see, when I started my company, I could have had all the systems and tools and support I needed to start my company. But then I would have been forever stuck with a franchise fee that my agents would have had to pay. For what reason? So I found that, you know what, I'm the type of person that kind of does my own thing anyway, and I want to create my own systems. I found that some of the structures were a little outdated, and I wanted to do something unique. So for me, paying the franchise fee would have been the simple road, but it was a little bit more difficult, but it was worth it in the end for me to do, to become an independent. That way I can form my own systems and tools. Don't get me wrong, it took me forever to get it all down, but in the end I feel that it was worth it. So I chose not to franchise. So again, when you're an agent, don't think that you need the company name. All you need is the company systems, tools, and support. So that's the most important. The next one that I want to talk to you guys about is office production. Again, this is lessons that I've learned. You'll find that a lot of brokerages don't have a lot of successful agents. To me, there's going to be no such thing as a brokerage with 100% productive agents. I can guarantee that. In fact, a majority of the brokerages don't have, they maybe have 20% active, successful real estate agents. The rest of them are not doing very well. In fact, an even larger percentage of them are not doing anything at all, which is very sad. But the real estate profession is very, very hard. It's very hard to stick with as far as, emotionally, mentally being able to handle it. And of course, then just having the perseverance to get through all of the hard work that's necessary. So again, when I look at a brokerage, how successful are the agents? The more successful agents there are, that is an indication of strong support and training systems in place. So how many productive agents are in that office? So again, I did my research before I changed to brokerages. In fact, I had one broker I really liked. He had great sales pitch, and I really liked it. I liked him a lot. The interesting thing was, right before I signed with this broker, I did research on all of the agents in the office, and I didn't take anybody's word for it. I did it myself. And what I found was that he had close to 100, or maybe a little bit over 100. It was somewhere in that range. and that only 5 of them were productive agents. The rest of them all were doing nothing. I did the research on their past sales and found that there was nothing going on in that office. In fact, the most successful person was the broker. And that to me is poor leadership. If the broker is doing all of the business, that's a sign that first of all, the broker doesn't have time to help you. Second of all, it just shows that the broker is doing nothing to train and support. And in fact, the broker may be even stealing from all of the sign calls and things that are coming into the office, which could be another situation altogether. So you want to make sure that you're going into a very productive office. Now, I don't mean having a lot of agents. That takes me on to my next step. The size of the brokerage really, really matters. Guys, don't go for a very large brokerage and don't go for a tiny brokerage. You want to hit the right medium. And let me just tell you, middle ground. Let me just tell you why. Okay, again, lessons I've learned through being a broker myself. When I first started my brokerage, it was me and there was only a few of us agents. I had a few agents on my team. And those agents, of course, I was able to provide them the training and support that they needed, but at the same time, they didn't provide enough brokerage money to cover the expenses. So I was still forced to sell. I had to cover all of the expenses. And that's just one of the things that brokers all go through when they're starting their brokerage. They're too small to stop selling, which means they're not going to be helping you. And that's a problem. So I had to quickly grow past that. Now, I've also worked at a lot of brokerages where they were huge. Again, I worked at one brokerage which was 1,200 agents. I never got a call back, ever. So I would suggest that you find the right middle ground. Now, you're going to find that a lot of brokers will tell you, oh, well, we have teams. So we're going to get to teams and what that really means and whether or not it's right for you. But for now, my suggestion would be around 100 agents would probably be, unless they have extra associate brokers or sales managers. Make sure you meet that person and that you like and trust that person and that you're going to get along great with that person before you sign with the brokerage. But if they have sales managers in place to handle the agents, then that would be okay if it was more than 100. So my suggestion is, no more than 100, maybe no more than 150 could one broker handle at a time. Again, assuming that you've got a productive office. If they're not productive agents, I can handle 5,000 non-productive agents because they're never going to be calling me with issues. So that's very, very important to take a look at these, okay? So I'll be back with more tips. Thanks.
Move for free, realty. Buy and sell with us and we'll move you for free. Buy and sell with us and we'll move you for free. A full-service real estate company with added value of a free move. Call 571 292 5377.